Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 13th of July episode of the Beer Blades and Bushcraft live stream. Because I'm trying not to down like a half a bottle of whiskey every time I do this, I've got one whiskey sitting there, and I've got this beer. Employé du mois 4. Fuck that. Stot ou dat. So, fuck is French for seal. So I guess you could call it a seal that. I'm just setting up my stuff. It was very, let's just say I was cutting it really, really short. So sorry about that, you guys. And so I'm everything. Hey there, Mark. Grace is with us. We got Tenenbaum in the house. Nice. There we go. I'm going to put that there. Get it out of my way. Something is, oh my land. That's the Discord. Okay, I'm closing that down. I thought I was going to sneeze. So, how's everyone doing? He said after popping out the wrong chat. Oh, for land's sakes. Hey, Alain's here. Comment ça va? Yeah, so I it was a very it was a high octane evening today. Pop that shout out. Okay. There we go. I have no idea where. There's the StreamYard window. Oh my land. So many windows. So many this. So many that. Sorry, guys. So, I just want to finish saying hi to everyone who's here. Excuse me. Okay. So, yeah. Fuck that. So, it's a date stout by Microbrasserie Le Bracal. Where the hell is that? Oh, man. This is 8.5%. Okay. It's in Drummondville, Quebec. So let's just pour that out. I mean, this can's been beaten up, man. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Getting all kicked up. My sinuses are going crazy. I'm thinking it might be the old hay fever. Come home to roost. Because I do love me those seasonal. Look at that. Oh, you can't see the color if I do it that way. Yeah. Look at that color, guys. Look at that. I'll tell you something for free. It can be hard to get something centered in front of that camera. That head's too big. It's a good thing Serge isn't here because he'd be like, It's okay. I'll let it settle a bit. So I had stuff to discuss tonight, but, hey, Canoe Hound Adventures in the house. How's it going? How's it going, Mr. Dennis? Ian the Weblord's with us. Nice. I'm not abusing. I'm abusing. Oh, God. Why did I say that? Russell in the house. So, Russell, tonight I'm going to behave myself. I have one beer and one scotch. Tyler's got family game night going on. I didn't know that still happened in some households. Mallory's here. How's it going? So, what I had originally wanted to talk about tonight was the whole leave no trace thing. Ask you guys what your approach was if you come across a camp area or a campsite that had a whole bunch of crap all over it. But I'm not sure. Maybe we just have a free-form night. I know that everything gets a little free-form by around 10 o'clock anyway. And I didn't have time to make a thumbnail or to plan this live stream ahead of time today. because I spent 2.5 hours on the line with Rogers trying to fix some funky charges on my phone bill, and that took up all my usual sort of prepping for the live stream time. So maybe we'll just put off that subject for another time and just chat about whatever tonight. I don't want to talk too much about it, but Russell and I got together and did some fun stuff last week. When was that, Russell? Was that on Saturday? You guys might get to see some cool stuff, some cool collaborational stuffs in the future. I see Martin's here. Nice to see you. Yeah, Ian, I should have had one bourbon along with the ride, eh? Along with the ride? That makes no sense. Why am I talking this way? Oh, Mark is actually picking me up at what I was going to talk about tonight. If in canoe, pick up garbage. If in sea kayak, leave there. Space limitations. We yeah, that was, man, I almost killed that bottle. I didn't almost kill that bottle, but I came uncomfortably close to killing that bottle. But it was a good night. It was a good time. Tenenbaum says, I pack out garbage that I find to the extent that it's practical. If I'm just one day from home, I can obviously carry a lot more. Not going to carry a bunch of junk around in portage. Yeah. That makes sense to me. Hey, Hike with Mike is here. How's it going? Whenever like Camille and I are just taking a little hike, we always bring when we don't forget, we bring an extra garbage bag just in case, because that girl cannot leave junk on the ground if she sees it. She's part of this thing called Earth Rangers, right? It's a way of getting little kids into, I guess, greener living. She takes that kind of stuff seriously. Mallow is saying that she can't tag people with her new computer. That seems weird to me. What do you mean you can't tag people with your new computer? How's that not working? I think I may have to have a little tech support call with Mallory at some point this week. Russell. Thanks for lowering the tone of the conversation, Russell. Actually, is it a Mac? Because Mallow, you were using Windows before, so it might be just that the method is different than you're used to. Yeah, I'm living the opposite of that right now because this is all Windows, which I hate, which is why I keep hitting the wrong key combinations. But oops. But yeah, for a quick hike, Camille and I will bring a garbage bag into the woods. If we see anything, we'll pick it up. I've never done like a really long camping trip before. Like if I'm at the beginning of a 2-week, march into the bush and, play around, I might be a lot less. Well, if I'm going to pass by on my way out, then I may either just pack it all up and then grab the bag on my way out a week later, or I don't know. See, because I deal a lot with this question of leave no trace. And I know that it's not as universal as we tend to think it is as a philosophy. There are other philosophies out there. I read an article on this like 2 years ago, and I wanted to talk about it and then just forgot about it. And I tried to find the article, today while going to get, the girls, or trying to look it up on my phone. I couldn't find it. But there are people who find the problem, who find the concept of leave no trace problematic in some way. And I don't remember if it was because they were saying you should always leave it better than you found it. like, I don't remember, and I wanted to talk about it tonight. But you know, I had never even heard the term "leave no trace" until really recently. You know, like, I don't know how long that's been around, like, as a almost trademarked term. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's Leave No Trace Canada website organization. There's probably Leave No Trace USA or something. And I'm wondering if the people who don't buy into it don't like that it's become sort of, I don't want to say institutionalized, I don't want to say corporatized, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there are people out there who love a concept as long as it stays freeform and not disorganized, unorganized. But as soon as there's like a headquarters somewhere, you know, and a general manager or whatever, or a CEO, suddenly it's like, no. It's the same kind of people who are like, yeah, I was into that band before they were famous. To which I often say, you know, I hated hipsters before it was cool to hate hipsters. I just want to make sure I'm not. Is it a stupid Mac? LOL, it is. Can't tag people on mobile. That is so true. That is so true. I wish I could when I was using, like, on an iPad or an iPhone. In the web lord, who broke? Yeah, Ian is saying that you just gotta. I think you just do it the way you used to. Just gonna try something. On canoe trips, I will collect garbage that I find on portages and campsites, burning what I can. I pack out what I can, but usually only on my way out, not gathering everything I find the whole way. Yeah. Well, and the reason why I was talking about this is because of, you just said it. It seems that because of the plague, a lot of people discovered camping, and a lot of these people don't take the same stewardship approach to the land, right? I mean, these are the same guys who would have done tailgate parties and stuff like that, and just take the tailgate parties into the woods, you know, or onto the campsite, have a bonfire, play loud music, drink a 2-4, leave the empties everywhere. And like, what's the secret for solving something like that? Like, do you just tell people, be careful, don't wreck their forest? Do you, like, how do you keep that from becoming a permanent epidemic in our woodlands? Because now, you know, some of these people, now that they've discovered partying in the woods instead of, you know, tailgating and stuff, what if they just keep going back, leaving their empties, ruining it for everyone else without even really knowing that they're being assholes? Hike with Mike says, I think that if there were trash bins at trailheads and campgrounds, it would cut down on the littering. Yeah, I think that's a good, except I thought there usually were. Or at least there are when you're at a provincial park here in Quebec. I don't know if that's universal or if it's specific to where I live. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because you might be able to sort of get into words what my problem is in some way. I don't know. I'm having a hard time encapsulating the idea in something easy to sort of say. Hold on 1 second. I just want to do something went wrong. Great. Stupid Windows. Man, I should have restarted this computer before going online tonight. Because that's something you have to do with Windows. Crazy. Yeah, okay. All right. My browser's going crazy, so I'm just going to close that. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know what's going on there, Mal. Girl Scouts taught leave this space better than before. We always have a giant stroller with us, so we pick up trash at golf courses, state park, trails, school playgrounds. Yeah. Hike with Mike is picking up on one of my throwaway lines. My hips are moments. Saw Motley Crue before they were famous back in my hairband days. Nice. Yeah, Ian says, I find an amazing amount of garbage, and it seems even more burnt stuff in the fire circles. Yeah, that's true. And this is kind of what I'm asking. How do you teach people not to just, I feel that, and I'm not going to dump on religion. I'm not going to get political. I just feel that because we have culturally been taught that the world is resources for us to use, it becomes easy to take that kind of approach, to just leave your crap lying everywhere. And it's hard to have the argument. It's hard to make somebody care if they don't care. As Tenenbaum says, people who don't already know that are kind of hard to convince. Absolutely. Yeah, Shawnee, I hate it when we come onto a site to set up when the fire pit is just broken glass and beer caps. Absolutely. Martin says that his problem is with the one-size-fits-all aspect of leave no trace. That's an interesting concept that I'd like to explore. Except that my damn browsers ain't working. My sinuses are going crazy on me here. I'm trying to try something new tonight, but it's just pissing me off. So maybe I'll just forget about it so I can get back to the conversation. Elaine is back. Nice. Okay, this year it will be worse than usual. Ian says, hopefully it corrects. There are some hero groups that do cleanups, which is awesome. Yeah. But does it get better because all the yahoos stop going to the woods? Or does it get better because they get a clue? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it get better because we get the woods back to ourselves? And is that the way you really want things to get better? Because if the same sort of argument that we had before, how the more people who are camping, the easier it is to show those who would sell off Fair Crown lands to, well, not sell off, but like just sign the whole thing over to resource extraction, not to do that. But the more people who are out there, the less room there is for everyone. Right? The reason these questions are interesting to ask is because they're almost impossible to tie up neatly with a bow and to answer. And I don't even know if I want there to be a lot of people out there and getting to understand the woods. Like, there's a Crownland Campers Facebook group, and someone had said that that they were in a spot, and a truck just showed up with guys in it, and they said, "How long are you going to be here? Because we have a whole group coming here tonight." And the guys just sat there on their tailgate of their truck, drinking beer and sort of acting as though the people who were there weren't there, so they just sort of picked up and left. How would you convince that type of person not to leave their empties everywhere, or not to use non-biodegradable soap? while washing your ass in the stream. You know, don't just bring a big bottle of Dove or something to wash your dishes with. There's all kinds of stuff that one has to think about when they're leave no trace or leaning in that direction, or or leave the place better than you found it. Right? There's money you spend in the lead up to a trip to help ensure that you will not impact on the environment too much. This sounds great. Some parks around us are banning loudspeaker use and charging people if their site doesn't pass inspection. Yeah, that's a great concept. I mean, but that works for campsites, right? Rather than being out in Crown Land or whatever the American analog to Crown Land is. People seem to think that a campfire is an incinerator, which somehow destroys or depollutes whatever you toss into it. Yeah, that is so true. And like, how many people just throw the plastic wrap off of whatever they have or their marshmallow bag into the fire, releasing stuff into the air. Thanks, guys. Mark says he can't stop wilderness litter completely without having a ridiculous amount of very grouchy rangers. I've seen campers walk in an hour's hike with a 2-4 under each arm. None of them take their bottles or cans out. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's kind of infuriating, to be straight with you. It's like, this is why we can't have nice stuff. You know. I'm trying to remain polite about these people, and because they're not bad people, they just sometimes don't know, or they're a little selfish. I mean, these guys aren't out there saying, "This weekend, I'm going to destroy the nature." You know, it's not like that. But it still pisses me off. You know. Oops. Just sending a note to a couple of people here. Trail Trash Outdoors do their cleanup every time they go out. Gosh, people in Florida can pollute the rivers. They pull out so much trash. That is so true. And I do think that if I take a bag of garbage out every time I go, it's one person taking out one bag of garbage. But if 6 of us, I don't mean, we're organized. I mean, like, if 6 people go in and take out a bag of garbage every time they go into the woods, then you're starting to have an effect, you know. Are we teaching the yahoos not to throw their crap around? No, but we're helping to make it better for the next bushcrafters or Crown Land campers or hikers who are coming through. And maybe that's where my efforts are better placed, right? Maybe standing there and railing against these fools, who are burning their marshmallow bags and beer caps. Maybe I'm wasting my time with them. I'm not going to convince them, but making it the woods a little better, the campground a little better for the next responsible camper to come along. Maybe, why am I already yawning? Sorry, maybe I'm paying it forward for them. Hike with Mike says, the most ridiculous trash I saw dumped in the local forest I hike and camp was a 24-foot fishing boat stripped of all tags and engine dropped off the side of a forest road. Wow. Okay. Why would somebody do that? That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Martin. He says, my feeling is that there's no amount of teaching people to be concerned about the environment will do anything to prevent littering and pollution. I think you're absolutely right. Hi, Mel.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm good, you?
That is not where you live. That is a background.
Of course it is. My house is way messier than that.
Yeah.
Especially in summer.
I have my little blue light back there. That's how I'm fancy. That's how I fancied up my area.
Oh, hey everybody.
Nice camera you got there.
Thanks. Yeah, it's right on my computer. It's inside my computer webcam.
Oh, do you have a laptop? Oh no, you got an iMac.
Yeah, I have an iMac, so it's
Yeah.
got that. I'm very, very pleased with it.
Yeah. Hey, Martin.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hey, Melanie.
How are you?
I'm very well. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Busy. Gardens, wedding, a lot of stuff
Yes.
going on.
So
Yep,
much
I saw
stuff.
that.
So yeah, Martin, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the leave no trace and the problems you have with it. Because maybe what you're going to say is what I've been trying to remember about that article that I cannot find.
Okay. So I have problems with the leave no trace idea. I mean, I like leave no trace. I advocate for it. I'm a proponent of it. I've been for, I don't know, better than 10 years now, been promoting Crownland camping on my YouTube channel and always encouraging people to practice the leave no trace ideal. And I always throw the word ideal in at the end.
Okay.
Because people think that you can actually leave no trace. And that is a fiction. And so they'll go to a place, say on Crown land or a park or something like that, and they think they're leaving no trace, but they are leaving a trace. But they don't notice that they're leaving a trace because the heavy impact has already been made by the creation of the foot trails, creation of the campsite, the fire ring, the depletion of resources and vegetation and firewood and all of that. And so they don't see an appreciable difference between when they arrive and when they leave. And so they think they haven't been leaving any traces, and they think that when they can go off, for instance, into Crown land, into some virgin area and establish a campsite, that they're going to be able to leave no trace. And I mean, I have a video that shows my wife and I canoeing to a spot that we've never camped on. We picked the spot. We explained the criteria why we picked that spot as a canoe camping site. We established a bush site, and there's all these little things that we do to minimize our impact. For instance, the route that you take from the shore where you beached your canoe to where you're going to pitch your tent, to where you're going to string your tarp, and all that is more or less in a straight line. And you don't deviate from that. So when you're going from the shore to your tarp, you follow the same path so as not to beat down vegetation all over the place. You're beating, you're trying to wear one rut in the vegetation. And then the path from your tarp to your tent, or your tent to your bear hang where you're hanging your food or something like that, or to where your latrine is, you're just trying to plot a course through the vegetation so that it doesn't look like anyone's camped there.
Yeah.
So there's just all kinds of things like that. Same thing with the firing. People make these huge bonfires, and that's because they're used to backyard camping and barbecues and, RV camping and stuff like that, where there's a huge fire ring where 5 or 6 lawn chairs can sit around a big fire. Yeah. There's no occasion where you need a fire that big in the woods, in the backcountry.
True.
Even in winter, you don't need a fire that big. It's just a waste of wood. And so if you go into Algonquin, for instance, or any provincial park in Ontario or Quebec, you'll see these fire rings. They're about 3 feet across, and they're built up with rocks. And everyone who camps there sort of adds a few rocks and builds it up a little higher as the ashes build up. No one cleans the ashes out or anything like that. And so it just builds up and it gets higher and higher. And so you'll see these things that look practically like burial mounds that are the fire ring where you're supposed to, cook your meals and stuff like that. And they're absurd. They're just, all you need at most is 3 rocks, right? 3 rocks. And you can cook anything on that. And that's if you need rocks at all. I mean, a lot of people can just on bare ground erect a tripod and cook over that. You don't need a block ring.
That's generally the way I do it. I don't tend to use rocks.
Yeah, I'll use rocks depending on the situation, because it's nice to have a thermal mass right next to the fire on which you can rest a pot to keep things hot and warm, but not over the fire and stuff like that. So I will use rocks, but people think that you have to have a ring of rocks. So people who do a lot of back country hiking, for instance, through hikers and such like that. They think they're the masters of leave no trace, but they've never set foot in an area that has not already been heavily impacted. And so they think they're sort of the gods of leave no trace, but they've never been in a situation where they're actually going to leave a trace that they would notice after they're gone. And a group of 2 or 3 people camping in an area that's virgin for just a weekend will trash the place. It will it will look like a large family just ran through and played tag for an hour. That's what it'll look like, right? And that's just vegetation being beaten down. There's a lot of other things that people will do, right? They cut limbs and stuff like that they don't need to cut down. They build these absurdly large fire pits. They will start fires in areas where there's a lot of duff. There's duff, that's the ground litter, and then there's the humus layer beneath, all of which is combustible, all of which can catch fire. The ground and the roots underneath can actually catch on fire and get ground fires this way. So people don't know where to start their fire. So the leave no trace ethic sort of reminds people of these sorts of dangers and trying to leave things as pristine as possible. But the problem is that people actually come away thinking that there's such a thing as leaving no trace, when what has to be borne in mind is that you're visiting this area, you're entitled to visit this area, but everything you do is actually impactful. So that's one of the things I have against it. And then there are other little things, like there's a lot of superstition and pseudoscience about leave no trace. Like you'll hear people say something, you mentioned biodegradable soap. Well, virtually all soap is biodegradable. And I mean, the problem with pouring soap, into the water isn't that it's going to kill anything. It's rather that it's going to cause a bloom of algae, right? You're upsetting the balance of things, and you could potentially create an algal bloom, for instance. It's not that you're going to pollute and kill everything in the water, right? And people think that if you take a bar of ivory soap and you wash yourself in a lake, that's a terrible thing. Well, it's not a great thing to wash yourself right where you're going to be drawing water for drinking and stuff like that. That's a bad practice, right? You're going to make somebody sick or yourself sick doing that kind of thing. But you'll hear things like you should never wash yourself in a lake. You should always, use a bucket and carry the water away and wash yourself out of a bucket, take a bird bath and stuff like that. Absolutely. Never heard that. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the common practice. That's the common wisdom, right? You fill up a bucket of water, or lake water, or with some warm water that you've heated over a fire. And then you just take a bird bath with a washcloth and you wash yourself away from the lake. You don't bathe in the lake. You don't jump in, lather yourself up and jump back in. Now, as a matter of fact, that is perfectly harmless. What's that?
I'm going to tell you something about doing that bird bath. Okay. Okay. I had to do that bird bath for a week outside in November or October in the Gas Bay during a hunting trip. Mm-hmm. And so since having to do that outside in October in the Gas Bay with my little rag and trying not to freeze my narcs off, the idea of a bird bath sends me, like, I get NAM flashbacks, okay? So I am not the bird bath type.
Well, it's funny you say that, because the cooler seasons are the only times I'll do a bird bath. During the warm months, I'll just dive into the water. I'll dive in, I'll come out soaking wet, I'll lather up, and then I'll dive in and I'll rinse myself off. And now a lot of people, leave no tracers, will typically blanch when they hear you say that. They say, "Oh, you should never do that." Well, I'm not going to do it in a lake where there's just tons of people going there, right? Or anywhere near where you're going to be drawing water for drinking, for instance, right?
Yeah, you'd want to do it downstream at least.
Yeah, you want to go downstream, but if you're alone on a lake in the middle of Crown land, that's not going to do any harm whatsoever. No. So people just have a lot of sort of weird misconceptions about the dangers of soap and water. It really is a matter of proportion and quantity, right? It's a matter of relative volumes. So you're not actually going to do any damage that way. But we teach this, right? This is just frankly a bullshit lesson that we teach people, because we don't want people going in there with like heavy detergents and stuff like that. Yeah. And deciding that they're going to wash their dog or something like that. or clean their, launder their clothes and stuff like that in the lake. That's what happens, right? You get people out there with boxes of laundry detergent, right? Producing huge amounts of foam and stuff like that. So there's a lot of misconceptions like that. But the bird bath thing, that's something I'll only do when it's cold, because I can warm up the water. I can, and I'll stay warm that way. Whereas if I jump into a lake in November, man, it's going to take me a lot longer to warm up. And, I'm going to have a really good towel to dry myself, because then I'm still going to be slightly damp when I get dressed again. So I'll only do the bird bath method when it's really cold. And then, that's what you do in winter when you're winter camping, right? You just heat up water in a tub, in a big pot, and you
big old pot.
Wash yourself that way.
How long do you guys leave for in the wintertime? Like if I leave for 3 days, I can just literally just have a pot of water with a little cloth and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
if you're only going for a few days, that's all you need, right? But I mean, if you are going longer, you've got to do something, right?
I don't know if I could do longer.
You will start to stink. You'll start to stink, And
I know, but who do you have to impress? The birds?
Well, it's just a matter of hygiene. Like you get really greasy hair. In my case, I have oily skin, so I get like really oily skin.
Yeah.
You get itchy. Your sleeping bags will eventually start to smell and get gross. And I'm married, so I'm with somebody, and it's sometimes you want to cuddle.
True to that. Do you literally leave in the when it's cold for like many days? Like how long do you go for?
Well, I mean, it depends how much time I have. And if I'm with someone who wants to go for a week, I'd go for a week. 10 days, I haven't done a trip like that in winter in a number of years, but yeah. I used to go with my friends, and we would go and then we would come home and just grab more grub and then go back out again.
That's cool.
We were sort of limited by how much food we could take with us in those days.
Right.
So that was always the limitation. But yeah, you can go out indefinitely in winter. You just have to have the right equipment.
Yeah, like a hot tent.
If you don't have the right equipment, you're going to freeze. And I don't do the cold tenting thing. That I think is just a miserable thing. I do hot tenting or igloos or some other kind of snow shelter.
That's cool.
I do want to say thank you to Be Ready today for the
Brian.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Brian.
For me, my personal take on the leave no trace is don't leave more of a trace than is there, because I have literally never walked into a completely virgin piece of land to camp on, right? Either it's been part of like a tree farm or a maple, whatever you call where the cabane à sucre sits, with all those trees with the things sticking, a maple grove. Like, I've never gone crown land camping, right? Everywhere I have gone, there has been some sign of civilization in some way, whether it's just that there are paths that are cleared, or there's actually wooden footpaths everywhere and a blockhouse with toilets in it, or something. So I try to practice the principles of leave no trace even when I'm at a provincial park.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So because I feel that what you teach yourself there, you will unconsciously maintain when you're elsewhere. So say I'm camping where, like, pick something like Algonquin or whatever, right? If I walk into like a spot that's got a thunderbox and a fire spot, I will try to leave it looking exactly the way I found it. But here's a good question, because you brought up something that interests me, because I've seen like those fire pits that are just building up with the ash. Technically, you could just throw the ash into the woods, and as it sort of decomposes, it's quite good for the flora. But what else could you do with all that ash if you want to sort of mitigate things a little bit there?
Well, that is what you do. I mean, that's what park officials do when they
just throw in the.
When people who are maintaining the sites in places like Algonquin they'll go through with shovels, and they'll empty the fire pits, all the trash,
Yeah.
and there's almost always trash in the fire pits of some, to some degree. And they'll take the ash and they'll just, bring it deep back in the woods, and they'll just scatter it so it doesn't show.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to do. But unfortunately, people, they don't carry shovels and stuff like that, and they imagine that the park will take care of it, and so that's what happens. But you mentioned that you want to practice the leave no trace ethic, so that you're in the habit of doing it, so that if you find yourself in some more remote area, you'll do it there as well. In my view, I think you should strive for the leave no trace ideal everywhere you go, but it's even more important in the parks, right? Because that's where the impact will be noticed, right? One thing that bothers me, I see a lot of YouTubers, bushcraft types, they'll build these elaborate, virtually useless lean-tos in the middle of the woods that are poor windbreaks and don't keep out the rain and that kind of stuff. But it's the bushcraft icon, so they like to build that. They like to build that kind of shelter and feel very bushcrafty. And they'll build those things. And if they're building them in the middle of the woods, well, strictly speaking, if you're on Crown land, you're not allowed to leave up any standing structures. You got to take them down. But no one's going to find them in the middle of nowhere. But if you are in a park and you do that on a site, then obviously you're interfering with someone else's enjoyment of that site. You've just built a structure that whoever is now occupying it might not want. And if you're building it on an established campsite on Crown land, you're doing the same discourtesy to people. So that's kind of a kind of douchey move. So I have taken up a douchey move of myself. Now when I find those structures, I just destroy them. I just knock them down.
Free firewood.
What's that?
Free firewood.
Well, the thing is, they almost always cut green wood to build those. I have never found a bushcraft shelter built entirely out of standing dead. They'll always cut a bunch of stuff because they want to use their saws and axes and stuff like that, and they like the feeling of knocking off the branches, and and it's just more work to build out of only standing or unrotted fallen dead wood. So they will cut stuff down because it's just close at hand. Right, it's just more work to build out of standing dead, right? So you can't even burn the stuff. It's not even firewood. You have to wait a few seasons before you can burn it.
My approach to those lean-tos is I would gladly build one on land that I owned. I don't mind people building them. Yeah,
I don't mind people building them. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just saying, because a lot of these are done with, they're tying bank line around a living tree or whatever. So if you just sort of forget about that and go away and it's just there indefinitely, that bank line around that tree is going to be a problem, right?
Yeah,
so,
you're strangling the bark. Yeah.
So I would never build something like that on land that I didn't own, because if it's my land, I'm probably going there every weekend to get away from my little urban existence, right? And so I will be moving it from time to time to make sure specifically that I don't strangle the tree. And because it kind of bugs me to come across those things out in the woods anyway, like no one's clearly been there forever, and it's just sort of this ramshackle thing. It's like,
yeah, I've seen some that are nicely built. I recently came across one that was very elaborately built. Someone went to considerable trouble to build one. By my reckoning, they cut 30 trees. They cut 30 living trees.
Living trees.
Yeah. Most of them would have been living. A mix of birch and softwoods. And they built a fairly elaborate lean-to, and it was tied up with string, and it wasn't particularly well built. It looked nice, and then they cut down a ton of boughs to make a bough bed inside, and then a bough roof. But of course, it isn't waterproof. And when there's a snow load on it, if you've got a fire in front of it and it warms up at all, which is what you want, then the snow melts and it drips through, and it's not waterproof, right? So of course they had to have a tarp. Now the thing with that is they could have achieved the same thing with just the tarp, and that's it. right? They didn't need the
Yeah.
lean-to. I mean, in other words, if you're building a bushcraft shelter and you need a tarp over it, you don't know what you're doing. You don't need to do
Yeah.
that. It's just a complete waste of time. You didn't need to bring the axe. You didn't need to bring the saw.
Come on,
you
Morris Kohansky in the super shelter. Come on.
And well, no, I mean, the super shelter is a very different kind of thing. But I mean, you got to carry around all that plastic.
Yeah.
So if you want to carry around all that plastic in a kind of emergency ditch kit, that's fine.
All the power to you.
That works. But the problem with the super shelter is I've tried it, and there's a problem with the super shelter. It works. It does keep you warm. So if it's really, really bitter cold, it's a great idea. There's only one problem. You won't sleep. Because that thing has to be, you have to have a really big fire outside that's throwing a lot of heat, a lot of infrared. You're only going to get that sort of long wave radiation coming through when you can also see the flames. And so once it dies down, you're done. You're cold again. The temperature inside the shelter drops to the temperature outside the shelter because there's no insulation. So you've got to go back out. And so every hour or every 2 hours at the most, you're going outside and starting up that fire again.
That's
so you don't
super
sleep.
shelter. That's sort of like what I
that?
slept in this winter, right? That's what would be like.
Sort of a little bit, but not quite. The super shelter was I have it in a book, but it's over there. And I don't want to step off screen.
I'm searching on Google right now, and it's just showing me like a whole bunch of.
Look up Morris Kohansky. He's the guy who came up with the super shelter. I just want to point out a few things that happened in the side chat while we were talking. Alain says, I always fear throwing my ash into the forest the morning or same day. It can start a forest fire. But if I show up to a site and it feels cold or it rained, I don't have an issue clearing the fire pit. Yeah, what I do is I usually pour the remainder of my water into the fire pit. And then, like, once you can touch it like this, chances are you're pretty safe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't ever clear out a fire pit after I clear out. I only clear out a fire pit when I arrive.
When you get there, yeah.
And it's just full of ash, you know, and then you pick out all the trash and set it aside and then throw away whatever ash is in there. It's usually, you know, soggy and clumpy and wet and, you know, kind of mud-like if there's been any rain recently. So there's no chance of starting the fire by accident by doing that. If it was, you know, dry ash from a recent fire, then obviously I'd take different precautions. But a super shelter, Mallory, just to clarify, is you just take a tarp and you set it at, say, a 45-degree angle, kind of like a lean-to. And on the inside of it, you attach a piece of mylar, reflective mylar on the inside.
Oh,
and then in front, drop down from the top of the tarp in a kind of vertical wall. You have a clear piece of plastic. So
I see it now.
You've got a shelter that has a 45-degree angle behind you with a reflective surface behind you and a clear plastic in front of you. And the fire is built outside in front of the plastic. And the long wave radiation passes through the clear plastic. It accumulates inside the shelter because it can't escape very easily if you close in the sides a bit. And that heat is also reflected off the mylar. So you get it directly from the front and then reflected off the back. And it really does work. It gets really hot in there. Like you got to take off clothes. It's that hot in there while the fire is going. But the problem is the moment that fire goes out, you will feel the temperature dropping minute by minute. Yeah. And so if your sleep system isn't equal to the task, then you have to crawl out and keep that fire going all night long so you don't sleep. So, I mean, as an emergency shelter, it's brilliant. But it's no way to camp. It's a terrible way to camp.
Yeah, the emergency shelter is the only way I could see that working for me because I don't want to be surrounded by that much plastic. I don't, and I'd be afraid of sparks from the fire burning the plastic anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you build your fire out of hardwood, then you don't have to worry about spitting embers very much. Mm-hmm. That's not a big deal. And I've had, softwood, resinous woods spit embers, and they just burn a hole through the plastic. It never catches anything on fire, but in principle, it could happen, right? And if you're surrounded by a nylon tarp and a plastic sheet, that stuff starts to melt or catch on fire. You're in real trouble.
I'm not worried about it catching fire. I'm worried. I just don't like the idea where at the end of what I'm doing, I'm throwing away a bunch of plastic.
Yeah,
That's been
yeah,
my problem with it, because I'm not going to fold that up and reuse it.
Yeah.
You know, I
yeah.
do want to say, Dennis says, my bushcraft camp is on private land with permission from the landowner. 95% of the trees I used to build my shelter were dead standing. Yeah, I've seen your shelter on an episode or two, Dennis.
You've come
But
across those in the forest, those super shelters?
No, no, nothing like that. Just lean-tos.
Okay.
It's almost always lean-tos. Sometimes people will build, benches and little tables and stuff like that just to
Yeah.
make things a little more comfortable. And most campers, when they arrive at an established campsite in the middle of nowhere, if they see, hey, someone's built a nice rock chair, or, sawed up a log or something, and stacked it in such a way that it makes a comfortable bench or something like that, or built a little table, most people don't mind that. They find that a convenience. But these more elaborate shelters, well, I'll give you an example. So I told you about this large lean-to that someone built. It would have taken 2 or 3 guys at least a day to cut all that, to haul it in, to tie it up, to cut the boughs, and build this lean-to. It looked nice. It was really pretty. It was very picturesque. I'm sure it looked great on Instagram. But they had to have a tarp to actually make it waterproof.
Yeah.
And what gets me about that is that I could have, I'm not exaggerating, this isn't a boast, in 5 minutes I could have had a shelter that would have been every bit as comfortable as what they did, because in a fraction of the time that it took them to just gather the boughs, I could have gathered far fewer boughs just for a bough bed, and then strung a tarp over it, and boom, I would have had as comfortable a shelter off the ground.
Tarp, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I pack out the tarp. There's no garbage left behind. There's no cordage, girdling the trees or anything like that. And I didn't have to massacre a bunch of trees. So those guys put in an enormous amount of work to have a shelter that ultimately required a piece of plastic that they had to bring in, right? And a bunch of synthetic cordage. Right. Yeah. And so it doesn't make any sense. And if you're going to use cordage, okay, go out and buy some jute twine. Right. Yeah. I mean, that at least will rot and decay, and it's unlikely to girdle a tree because it'll eventually rot and break. Yeah. So, use jute twine if you're going to do that sort of thing. So
actually, that's a great idea, because I have a bunch of jute twine, but I've only ever used it to sort of rough it up and use it for starting fires.
Yeah, it's perfect for that. That's the ideal bird's nest.
And when I was growing up on my dad's homestead, I would always camp out like right in my front yard. There was like really big maple trees, and I'd tie up a yellow cord, just regular nylon, and I'd put a tarp and an A-frame, and I would just sleep there. And I would love it. It was like my favorite time of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good.
It's so easy.
Sandsock, by the way, is asking, what are guys recommending for tarps now? I think most of us just use a real simple nylon tarp. Like I have an AquaQuest 10 by 10. But I kind of want to get a big old canvas tarp, give it the oilcloth treatment and everything. Partly because my fancy little AquaQuest gets holes in it really quick if I've got like some softwood on the fire to get it, to get it up to the point where it's burning good enough that I can throw some oak or beech or something on it. An ember goes right through a nylon tarp, no matter how high tech, no matter how expensive. But a good old hunk of canvas, you've got some time to brush that off.
Yeah,
I
have military grade equipment because of Ben, so I have like those military tarps.
Yeah,
with like really, really solid rings on them to tie them up.
Heavy as hell.
Yeah,
but bomb-proof. Yeah.
Salvation Army.
I use a nylon tarp but silicone impregnated. It's made by Rab. It used to be made by Integral Designs, but then Rab bought out that design. So Rab makes it. It's a really good tarp. I recommend that one. The AquaQuest tarp I've not used, but I've seen is good. Cook Custom Sewing out of the US is probably the best tarp by anyone. There's a few others that are really good. DD Hammocks makes some really good tarps. But I like the Sil Nylon by Rab because it's super, super light. I have a couple of them. But I I have been camping under my Integral Designs sill nylon tarp. It's 8x10. I've had it for about a decade now, like maybe 9-10 years. And I start fires under it all the time. I have never, ever burned a pinhole. In fact, I taught recently, like a month ago, I taught a workshop. A friend of mine wanted to, learn how to do this stuff. And she was surprised, like no pinholes at all. Nope, never.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But that's because I don't burn softwood.
Mhm.
I only burn softwood to kindle my fire. That's it. I process hardwood down until it's small enough that my softwood kindling. So basically I have, one handful of, balsam fir or, pine branches or something like that. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only softwood that goes into my fire. I don't want anything else. And I've never had a pinhole burn. So, I mean, there is a way to do it. And I've been doing it for years, like, one tarp, about 9 or 10 years now. So no holes yet. So it can be done.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's just that if you're in a place like the boreal forest, well, now you're kind of SOL. Now you're going to have to build a super. Or the other thing is people build fires that are absurdly large. They don't realize how small a fire you need. When you've got a tarp over you, the tarp holds heat like crazy. The size of a fire you need to keep you warm on a chilly, late August, early September night is considerable. But if you have a tarp over you, it can be a very, very tiny fire.
Right, because it's trapping the heat.
Yeah, and it serves as a heat trap. And unless there's a big crosswind, it's not an issue. And you should be restringing your tarp to block the wind anyway, so that you are not.
Speaking of tarps and stringing, I need to go close my greenhouse because there's supposed to be a lot of wind. So I'll just be right back.
Okay. I'm just going to scroll down through the side chat here because I gotta catch us up a little bit here.
Sure. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so regrettably I cannot see the side chat, so I can't help with that or address anything that's being said there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Sansock is saying he knows of CCS, which is probably one of the brands that were suggested after Sansock asked the question. He said the thing not advertised in tarps is the rip strength. That's a good point. I'd never even thought of that.
Yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, they make them out of different thread counts. The nylon, they have a different head strength for water repellency.
Yeah.
So that matters. You can get like a 1.1 sill nylon or a 2.1 sill nylon and 2 ounces and stuff like that. So really it depends on what you need, depends where you're going to be. If you're going to be in like, the Barrens or something like that, where there's going to be huge winds, you're going to want a stronger tarp that's going to be able to withstand, huge winds buffeting it. It's going to be tied, with poles and stuff like that, because you're not going to be able to string it between trees or anything like that. So you don't get the shelter of a forest, right? But I camp in forested environments, so I don't usually get the worst of the wind, even when it's terrible.
Right.
So that makes a difference. So I can go with a lighter tarp.
Sorry, I just connected what he said to what you said. CCS is custom sewing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on the ball tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I think they're out of Minnesota or something like that. I'm not sure, but
what do you think is the ideal tarp size then? Because I do 10 by 10. I always sort of I always default to whatever is the basics, basic knife design, basic old school axe design, 10 by 10 tarp, just the stuff that seems to be the least clever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if I'm out in the woods, I don't want a bunch of clever little things around me that may or may not fail or may or may not end up not working the way I had anticipated, because sometimes I don't actually have time to practice with something before taking it to the woods.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, 10 by 10 is really good. Well, first of all, square tarps are more versatile. There's more formations that you can create. There's more variety in how you can rig and string your tarp if it's square than if it's rectangular.
Yeah.
Rectangular can pose
Good
a
night, be ready
problem. But
tonight.
what's that?
I'm just saying good night to be ready today. He just said night. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Nice to have you around.
As for the size, 10 by 10, size depends on how many people are going to be under the tarp and wind conditions. I mean, okay, so I use an 8 by 10. I use an 8 by 10 because they didn't have a 10 by 10. I would have been happier with a 10 by 10 because of the versatility. But 8 by 10 gives me the coverage that my wife and I need when we're canoe camping for us and all our gear. It's plenty of room in practically every condition we've ever faced.
Okay.
But if you're more people, or if you have, a dog, you can have a wet dog with you, and you've got a bunch of kids. Like I have a friend, she's got like 3 kids and a dog, and a duck, believe it or not. So when she goes camping, she's got more bodies that need coverage, right? So she needs a bigger tarp. So she needs something that's, at least 10 by 12.
Yeah, I get it.
Or 12 by 12 or something like that.
Right.
Those extra 2 feet make a big difference. And what you're looking for in a tarp, in my estimation, is no grommets. Those are junk. Those tear out. What you want are webbing loops, right? No grommets, and lots of webbing loops, and they should be reinforced where they attach to the tarp. So you should have some at the corners, and you should have some along the edges in various places, and ideally, 1 or 2 in the main body of the tarp, usually in the center. It helps with rigging your tarp and helps prevent your tarp from billowing out in a huge wind gust. You can guy out the center of the tarp through that center pull. That makes a huge difference. So those are the things that you really want: reinforced webbing loops, and lots of them, and no grommets. If it's got grommets, it's probably junk.
Well, or it's old, right? Like Canadian Forces tarps all still have the grommets, but they're these big honking things. My AquaQuest is all loops. Russell, what are you laughing about? What's going on, Bubbles?
Well, okay. So first, Dennis says, "There goes the neighborhood," and then Hawaii Volcano Squad says, "Sounds like a tarp elitist."
I am. I'm a tarp snob.
So
I'm a real tarp snob.
I'll tell you what, I'm sweating my bag off here. It is so humid. I can't believe it. It's got to be 82.4 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. I got a fan.
Really?
That sounds like my day. My day was like that.
See these little fans? These are wonderful. They have those 18650 batteries in them. You recharge them with a USB cord. I think they have 3 different settings. Oh.
Oh,
right down my boobs.
Yeah, it kind of does, eh?
Can't use that in the bush.
What?
Yeah. What bush are you talking about, Mal?
I wasn't talking about that kind of bush. Don't worry.
Let's just move right along. Grace says, I
trim my bush.
This is just getting awkward. I use bungee cords for hanging tarps. If heavy winds, it has some give to it. It won't rip eyelets. It won't rip eyelets.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Sure. I've definitely never used a bungee cord to hang my tarp. But when I used to go car camping with my dad and my sister when I was like 16 or whatever, our tarps were those blue plastic Canadian Tire tarps, right? I mean, everything we had was functional and non-exciting, shall we say. And I'm pretty damn sure that with my dad's, carpenter approach to everything, we probably used bungee cords at least twice.
And when I go camping with my dad, we would go tent camping, in the parks in BC, and he would set up, it would be raining, pouring rain, but he would set us up with those blue tarps. We would be protected, and we'd have a play. It was so huge.
Yeah, it was huge. It took up the entire
cords all over, and
we played Risk.
And it was awesome.
Risk?
Yeah, we get 12 people playing Risk. I don't even know how we did it.
Yeah.
I remember big, huge tarp took up the entire campsite.
Yeah. Tie it on the car and just
it sounds kind of funny, right? You're taking this huge ass tarp so you can do what? You're camping, right?
Well, it's because of what Mal said, right? We were in British Columbia. When it rains, it rains.
Oh yeah.
It rains, man. I mean, it's not sticking around.
Does it rain?
When it, oh, yes. Yes, it
Except
does.
for this year. This year they've been having a drought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
they're
Wait,
having
I
it
see
rough
that
out there.
too already.
Can I just say something about big tarps?
Sure.
So for canoe camping, in my experience, you are much better off having two sort of average sized tarps, it's a 10 by 10 or something like that, than one large tarp. One large tarp is harder to string. Very often you don't have the span that you need to actually rig it properly.
And there's more weight to it.
And well, I mean, you're going to have weight with the other thing because you're going to have two tarps, let's say. But the thing is, it's very often nice to have sort of a communal cooking area and maybe another area that's just for your gear or something like that.
Right.
Or an area where there's going to be a fire under a tarp and an area where there's not going to be a fire under a tarp. It's good to have the option of setting up a tarp as a wind wall at a 45-degree angle or something like that to deflect the wind. And then another one that is sort of like more like an A-frame above your head that keeps you dry. So one to keep you dry and one to keep the wind from blowing at you. So I find there's way more versatility in the woods with two tarps than one big one. And with one big one, it catches a lot more wind, right? So it's a lot harder, and you worry more about, tearing out those grommets or tearing out those webbing loops and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair amount. Fair issue. Well, that's more what I was getting at when I said more weight to one big one than two small ones. Mm-hmm. And I always sort of think that having too small of anything, two smaller dry bags, two smaller tarps, two smaller everything, is going to be more practical in terms of if something gets ripped, okay, you got another small one, but at least you have another one of whatever it is.
Yeah.
And B, the impact when you're trying to. What are you two brats doing? They're ruining my live stream, Martin. They're ruining everything.
We're not doing anything.
You got a tattoo that's green, right? You got that green spot so we can see the background through her shoulder.
It's just a green screen.
So
yeah, it's kind of gross, actually. It looks like she's got this gaping hole.
Now you got to move around a bit.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Dennis, why aren't you in here? We need to see Dennis eating, otherwise it's not.
Yeah, Dennis, get in here and chew something.
Bushcraft live stream.
I'm drinking some medieval mead.
Oh, you know what? I have that stuff too. I buy it every year.
So sweet.
There's some green in that too. We can see through it.
I know.
But I went looking for mead once, and they're like, "No, we don't have mead. Like they don't sell a lot of mead in liquor stores."
I think this is made in Quebec too. Yeah, product of
Did you
Quebec.
say it was sweet?
It's very sweet. Very sweet.
Oh, yeah. See, I used to brew mead, and traditional mead isn't sweet at all. It's fermented honey, right? But it ferments out completely, so it tastes more like a dry champagne. It's like a bubbly, very dry wine, and it has a flavor of honey, but it's not sweet at all.
Yeah,
unless you don't ferment it completely. What's that?
Yeah, I remember tasting a traditional mead too, and I was like, I'm not sure if I like this. It has a very particular taste to it. Yeah. Speaking of which, I do have my dandelion mead still in the fridge that I haven't tasted since last time we did a live stream. I'm going to go get some after this class.
Have you got a box of wine handy too?
No.
Box of your finest wine. That wine that start again. That mead that Mallory just showed. When I redid my Canoe Hound cocktail after he'd sort of sent me a picture using mead instead of simple syrup and honey syrup, that's the mead I've been using because it brings the sweet but not too much. Yeah. And I think it works quite well.
I have to go with that sweet mead. What is that again, Mel?
It's called Medieval.
Yeah, Medieval.
Does it have an English pronunciation?
Medieval.
Yeah, we call it Medieval. All right.
Wait a minute. It's because the tag is
spelled in French. Medieval.
Well, I got another bottle that has a better tag.
Of course, she's got another bottle.
Milo, just send me a picture.
I have bottles.
Anyway, I gotta get going.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Martin. I'll text you tomorrow. I've got a few things to talk to you about.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Cheers.
Speak to you later. Thanks.
I have 7 to be exact. I just counted them.
Jesus, how much money did you spend on mead?
Ben really loves these. Do you see it?
Can you just send me a picture? I suppose I could take a screenshot right now, couldn't
It's
I?
because I really love these
Ooh.
bottles. Oh, where
Wait,
did my
hold it up
phone
again.
go?
He's yet to go.
Can you hold
Okay.
it up again?
It's got this wax on it. It's sealed this way, so I've been saving the bottles so I can bottle my own.
Can you hold it up to the screen again? The label? Oh, it's all
There it is.
there. I got it. All right.
Ignore the stupid font. The font is horrible, but the bottle is nice.
It's heavy.
Are we after 10 yet? Yes, we are. So now I can start on my dram scotch.
Medieval.
Medieval.
Martin.
Do you want to see? You want to do the video thing? Whoa.
Sure. Russell's got something to show. You're not like showing all of it though, right?
No. Well, I've got.
Are you doing that story time thingy?
I did. Oh no, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Jess can get in on that too. We're gonna do. I've been lagging on that. We're gonna do narrative telephone. Have you heard of that?
No.
So one person comes up with a story, and then records themselves, a video of themselves doing it, and then sends that video to the next person. The next person watches it once, and then records themselves trying to repeat the story the way they heard it. And then it goes to the next person, and then we all get together at the end like this and kind of watch it all and laugh about it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I suck at remembering stories, so it's gonna be pretty funny.
Yeah, it should be. But yep, sure. All right, where's Dennis?
He went to get some snacks.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I took clips out of that whole segment we did. So I've got 10 videos. We don't have to watch them all, but we can watch some of them. Whoa!
How do you guys dig my new camera?
Oh,
Looks pretty good. That's the iMac Magic.
It's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
It's not bad for a Mac.
You got a 4.5K screen on that, I imagine?
I do.
Yep.
I do. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I've never seen this clear a picture before on the screen, so it's nice.
Yeah.
You can see all your blemishes.
Everything. I got pimples.
I still get pimples. I'm 52 fucking years old and I still get pimples. What the hell?
Yep.
All right, do you want to see this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Show a couple.
Oh, we can share a video file. Well, how would that work?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Video file works really nice. You can pause it and you can all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. Let me try that. I haven't done. Do it. Do it now.
Do it now.
It's really nice.
Oh, I gotta find the thing.
This is gonna be embarrassing, right? Because I drank a third of a bottle of whiskey that night.
Yeah, but
When was this?
Saturday.
But we weren't that drunk when we were actually going through this. It was after that we got drunk, and I don't even remember what we were talking about. But
me neither.
Okay, so if I once I do this.
Okay, hold on. I will share that at the stream.
Here we go. We got a woman on the screen.
Fine-looking pair of
interesting.
glasses for you.
Okay, can you hear this?
Yeah.
Turn it up a little.
This trick with the eggs really does work. So I popped one in, mashed the end on this.
This is like a lively
She
Saturday
blows it.
night for this couple, I'm sure. What the hell is she doing?
Oh, she's emptying it for.
You should see what else you can do.
I saw that on
I'm
TikTok.
quite proud of that one. look at her face.
But what did she do? I thought she was, like when you empty out
You
an
should
egg.
see what
to
else
put,
you
like
can
Easter.
do.
I don't quite know. Like what?
Julie, this is for you.
She's got an egg and a tomato.
And this is to prove that this trick with
I still don't know
eggs
what was
really
going on
does
there.
work. Doing a hole in the top.
So there's
So popped one
Yeah, just a
in,
little hole,
mashed
and
the
if it
end on
blows
this.
through it.
Okay,
Okay, so she's sort
Ta-da!
You should see what else you can do.
Shut up.
Look at his face. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. More.
how do I stop that now? Or is it up to Jess?
Yeah, I can check that off if you want.
Oh, okay. Remove. Okay.
Boom.
It's kind of weird actually watching it like that because we're reacting during the thing and we're reacting again to.
Yeah.
It's a bit
And
weird.
we hear your voices perfectly, so it's like, are you talking now or was
Yeah.
that?
Right? It's almost like it's almost like we need to do it for real now, but I don't have it all set up, so we can't. Oh, what are people in chat saying? Are they watching this?
Zach says the cider I drink is from Bulwark in Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia. We make cider here in Quebec, but it's not great. I think the quality of our meat is better than the quality of our cider. Where the hell is Dennis?
Where the hell is this?
I don't know, but I'm hungry now.
Yeah. It's because Dennis always eats on screen. So we say the word Dennis and we're also on screen. So suddenly we all want to eat.
Oh no. Oh no.
Is that
Oh
real?
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Like, let go.
Jesus, kid.
Okay, so they're at a petting zoo and he's feeding.
I can't-
That could have ended so bad.
Let go, kid.
She's like laughing
is that
her
his
ass
mom?
off.
Like, you dying?
Yeah. You see,
Obviously, that kid's a genius.
the thing is, you'd never have to deal with stuff like that when you've got daughters. Right? I
Oh
mean,
my gosh. No, that's
so
not
funny.
true.
Just let
My-
go.
My youngest daughter will make me freaking go crazy. She almost jumped out of the boat.
that would have been funny.
She because she saw fish on the sonar, right?
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, fish!" So she looks over the boat and she's like, "How much is 9 feet?" And I was like, "You do not want to know."
Right. So Dennis is just grabbing his munchies. I think Russell's grabbing his munchies too.
I'm gonna go get mine too.
What? Everyone's leaving me all alone. All alone.
It's your show.
All alone. Alone. Just sitting here feeling bad about myself. Lonely. So lonely. Kind of hungry too. Piano. Hey, Wood Pigeon, how's it going? Hey, hey, Mr. Munchie. How's it going?
How you doing? Where'd Martin go?
He had to go.
Oh man! If you're still in the chat, Martin, see you later, buddy.
Hey, Dennis.
Hi, Mallory. How you doing?
Good.
You look like you're on vacay there.
Yeah, right. With the pink shirt and the
Airbnb being the fancy place.
Living the life of the rich and famous, right?
right.
Yeah.
Can you go play that piano? Can you just other way?
Sorry it took me so long. I had to make myself a nice beverage.
What you got?
That was nice.
Oh no,
It
Dennis
takes a while to
froze.
heat up the kettle.
Okay, I got it.
I can hear him, but he's not moving.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there he goes.
I'm having a nice beverage as well.
Wife's watching Netflix upstairs, so there goes my internet. Right.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
For those of you that know me.
Especially if it's over Wi-Fi, like somebody's watching something over Wi-Fi, just I don't know. In my experience, it just kills everything.
I'm hardwired here, but that doesn't make any difference in this household.
I would like to just point out, Martin says, I left because I knew Dennis was coming. I hate that guy. Yeah. Yeah, you tell him there. You fisticuffs and everything, right?
Never, man. We're always a big high five when we see each other.
You know, I have yet to meet anyone I know through YouTube. Anyone.
One day.
One day.
Yep.
And it's
We'll
weird
get you
because
here one day, Jeff.
I don't live in a little village, right? I live in second largest city in the country. There must be other YouTubers in Montreal. But I wonder if it's because I YouTube. I create. I wonder if it's because I'm an English language YouTuber rather than doing English and French or just French.
Dude, Jesse, this is an open
Dude, no.
invitation. I'm 3 hours away from you. You should come to my wedding.
When is it?
Well, I'm not going to say it publicly, but it's in August.
And it's the day before, the 13th, and the day after.
The day after.
Film my wedding. Dude, Jesse, you could film my wedding.
Yeah, I don't know what August looks like. We're having a whatever, but yeah, it would be cool though.
Now you can officially meet a YouTuber.
Yeah. Wood Pigeon says, I met TikTokers, Instagrammers, and YouTubers. Man, Wood Pigeon, you're getting around. How the hell are you getting around? I have gotten nowhere for 15 months.
Oh, you know what? I should. You know what? This is just, I've been meeting some of my subscribers, and some weird things have been happening. Like I went to the Subway in Tweed, and they gave me a $25 gift card because I keep sending people there.
Really?
But I should show you guys. Hey, do you want to watch this video, or I got something else I could show you?
Oh yeah, no, of course I want to watch the video. Oh crap!
Oh,
not
I like
this
where this is
video.
going.
What's happening here?
I like where this is going. We haven't even started yet. Here we go.
This was weird.
What?
Is that real?
What? Oh my
Come on,
gosh.
really?
Holy crap!
She's a mutant.
Is that holy wow?
It's like elastic.
She should be a heavy metal singer.
I guess it is real because she's actually
You
moving
can
it.
lick her elbow.
She's like, look at what I can do.
Yeah, she
And
should
have the males on the
Gene
internet are
Simmons
like,
daughter,
I
right?
need her phone number.
She can
Earlobe?
be metal singer. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's gross.
Hired by like Kiss or one of those, you know, the old school bands, right?
Yeah. I was thinking Kiss as well. Huh?
Yeah.
So gross.
I can't even.
I don't think so. She was
I
your
have the
girlfriend.
world's shortest tongue.
Good to know.
I seriously can't like do anything with my tongue. Like
Well,
seriously, like what she's doing. No way.
Let's see what you can do. Stick it out as far as you can. Maybe I have to eat that.
With Doritos on the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I gotta find a picture. So yeah, here it is. That's not too obvious actually. Hold on, let me play with some stuff here. Talk amongst yourselves.
Very plausible, Mark.
What you got on tap tonight there, Jess?
Well, the beer that I had earlier was fuck that.
I love that.
Hmm.
Where's that made?
Drummondville.
Oh, I love that.
It's like
Yeah.
my get it the fuck India.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in the stores here.
You know, because here's a funky little story. Because Camille went to an English language daycare. Actually, Clémence is going to the same daycare, but because Camille was going to an English language daycare, in this household, seal in French was un seal.
Oh, really?
Because we were afraid of her just sort of spouting this word and them being all judgmental about bad words at the house.
Aw,
So
my gosh, my kids are 5 and 6, and they're always saying, "What the fuck?"
really,
Oh, yeah,
for
'cause-
those,
I mean, everybody here says it.
yeah. Well, also, it's important to say that in French, you know, the word that I'm trying not to get demonetized over is not actually a bad word. You know, you can say "c'est fucké," which just means it's sort of broken or it's sort of,
Yeah.
and that doesn't get bleeped or anything, you know. But for those of you who are, say, south of the border, a fuck is a seal, the marine animal. And that are dates. It's a date stout. And by the way, it was delicious, but it was 8.5%. and I don't generally like really strong beer.
Is my mic too
A
loud
can
to
of
hear
motor
him
oil.
eat chips?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Russell's got something else to show us. What is this going to be?
Bang. So this is, I know this is hard to see, but those are two of my subscribers on the left there. And what's on the truck there is a log. Actually called it, I think,
Splitter?
a log arch, but
It's
it's
a
a
log
log
hauler.
hauler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for pulling
A
logs.
log in there and you winch it up and then you put the chain around it and then you can haul a log
Good night, LA.
behind the ATV, behind my ATV. And like this guy actually made it himself.
Wow.
Bye, Alan.
We bought all the parts, welded them all together, spent months doing it, and then dropped it off
Take care of them.
with the guy on the right, the wizard,
Yeah.
who's a good friend nearby.
Hmm.
I'm like, that
I
is
recognize him from his special features.
a huge amount of a huge amount of work and cost involved, and I'm like, wow, that's so special.
Wasn't Sean James
Anyways.
using one of those log pullers?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, the guy.
So
Dickie's.
you bought one of those, Russell?
No, the subscribers in that picture, they made it for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like what Dickie's beer reviews says here. Is this a mukbang? I can hear someone eating chips. Geez, I wonder.
That's why I asked the question. I was like, is it too loud?
No, it's not too loud. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
How much time do we got? Oh, we got lots of time.
Oh, we got tons of time.
And I'm so hungry. I don't even think I ate dinner. I'm
think-
thinking about it. I don't even think I ate dinner.
We had
You-
ribs.
Get something like that.
I made cornbread.
I had grocery store sushi. It was awful.
Ugh.
No.
It was
Hey,
Yeah, I
I'll
make the
tell you
city for good
something.
sushi.
Let me tell you something about sushi, because you know me with the allergy to salmon. I had a really rough night because like whenever we get sushi, I get the vegetarian, and my wife always says, change the knife because he's allergic to salmon, and they always do. She went to a different place and she mentioned this, and the guy got all stressed out, but he didn't change the knife. So I'm just chowing down and enjoying life because I love me some vegetarian sushi, and then I was like under the weather all night.
No.
So guess what we don't? Guess where we don't buy our sushi anymore, right?
Bummer.
It's like, you know, dude, if someone says
How do you eat
allergies,
sushi without being able to eat salmon? My gosh. That's like 95% of sushi dishes.
What about shrimp?
Right.
yeah, I'm good
Like
with shrimp.
that
Okay.
sushi package that I bought, I open it up and there's no salmon, there's no tuna, there's a bit of shrimp, and I don't know what was in these little rounds, but it might have been canned tuna. And it was just hard and
The worst sushi that I don't know what it is. Is it like eggs? It's like that yellow square thingy. Is that eggs?
My wife loves those things.
Oh, I hate those.
square. The eggs are usually like little round balls. They pop when you bite them.
No.
These are different eggs.
Like literally,
They're-
there are sushis that they're like square. It's like an egg.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
egg.
like scrambled egg, but it's like cut in squares,
Absolutely. Yeah.
in cubes.
My wife
Yeah,
likes
that's the waste. Like, don't eat that. That's not sushi.
that. I want the raw salmon and the tuna.
That's just egg on. Is that egg on rice?
I don't know who got the idea to put that in sushi, but it's disgusting.
I'll tell you what. The best sushi I ever had. We were down by Antigua on a. No, not Antigua. Anyway, we were on a sailboat somewhere down there, and I caught a tuna, and I butchered it right there, and I had raw tuna with. We actually brought soy sauce and wasabi.
Mm-hmm.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, tuna. You would not believe how hard the skin is on a tuna. The skin,
Mhm.
Can I say that? It's not
It's a very
anything like
sharp knife.
bass or pike or anything that we catch around here. It's like I was like stabbing the thing with my knife. Oh my god!
Yeah.
It was tough.
How big was it?
It was not that big. Probably. Well, when I
Like a-
first got it on the line, it was probably this big. But by the
Okay.
time I got on the boat, it was about this big.
They're like so fat, it's like that size could maybe be like 50 pounds, maybe.
Well, it wasn't 50 pounds. It was about 20 pounds, but
Oh, okay.
a barracuda got to it before it got on board.
Oh,
It was missing a tail.
Okay.
Apparently, that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Wanna
Do you like
another video?
sushi too?
I love sushi.
the best sushi that I've ever ate was the ones that we made at home because we put everything that we liked in it. It was so yummy.
Yeah, if you can get good at making sushi, then the world's your toy store.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
It's
wife
the rice.
insists that I take her out.
You froze, Dennis.
Yeah, he froze. He'll be back
Sorry.
on though. There he is.
I'm back.
Say it again.
Yeah.
The best sushi?
Say it again,
No,
Dennis.
we're saying my wife insists I take her out at least twice a month for sushi, and she was going
Oh.
crazy when all the restaurants were closed down over COVID. So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You can.
We have a really like small local grocery store, and they bring in day fresh sushi. So it's nice every Saturday from the Yuzu sushi shop. So it's like there's poke bowls and stuff, and they're actually pretty good considering.
You can learn to make it. It's tough. It takes a lot of time, but with a little practice.
Yeah, it's the rice. It's the rice. You gotta
It-
have it at the right temperature and like put it in the
takes me
fridge. And
It takes me
it's
like 2
really
hours to. Yeah, it takes me like 2 hours to make the rice. It's not all
Yeah.
work, but it just takes time.
yeah.
Another video,
I-
Jay?
Oh, sure, why not?
Okay, ready? Sorry, you're gonna say something, man.
Okay.
Oh, this was
So
weird.
What's happening here?
It-
What are they doing?
It's like, I don't know. Is this a new way to have sex? Is this
I have no idea what's happening here.
is this
What?
lesbian sex that I don't know of?
It looks like you
Holy shit!
went
Is she
through
going?
TikTok.
What the hell?
I can't figure out what they were doing.
I thought this was going to be one of those videos, like, if somebody grabs you, here's how you get out of their lock. But
She's going between the legs.
I don't get it.
Wow.
What's the point of this? And
It's a TikTok trend.
It's getting.
Well,
Can we pull it up? Can we pull it up? Yes, we did it. We did it. Did we do it? Yes, we did it. Whoa. Hey,
there might have been some
it's the
a
internet.
little bit more to that, but I'll tell you what. I mean, guys like us, we sit around watching memes, Saturday nights. Maybe this is what some people do for their Saturday night. This is like that's not what
I will say one thing. Both of those people are a hell of a lot stronger than I am.
Certainly the one doing all the crawling around is, but yeah, the other girl's got to be pretty strong too. That's pretty impressive.
I don't understand why they're doing it.
Why not? If you could.
I guess.
Mal, did you say that was a TikTok?
Yeah, those are all
Okay.
things that I've seen on TikTok.
See, I got those off Imager, so I guess it's just one of those things, right? You see them everywhere. So, Mal, stay off TikTok for a while.
Yeah, come on,
No,
Mal.
anything viral on TikTok ends up everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, wood pigeon. I saw the beer poster challenge. I'm oh
This one has volume. Okay, here we go.
Every time I come a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go. And I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, it doesn't matter, 'cause I'm gonna do it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about it. Boom, about it, and I gotta do it. Every time I come a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go. And then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, 'cause it doesn't
Hey,
matter.
who the hell thought to put those two together?
I love the true, genius of the internet, right there.
This is why the internet exists, right?
Yeah, right there.
There was a bit of slurring going on there at that point, Jess.
Yeah, we were we weren't exactly 3 sheets to the wind, but
Wood pigeon, I just got you on TikTok.
Wow, the internet. Look at that just happening in front of us.
yeah, right there.
Surprising.
A lot of people are talking about their best sushi or their favorite sushi. Wood pigeon, best sushi I had was in Hawaii. Zach Fudge says sugarfish is my favorite fish. Cheap in Japan, but hard to find here. I've never even heard of it.
Sugarfish. That must.
Hawaii Volcano Squad says, okay, the chicken manure has been spread around the fruit tree saplings. Good job.
What is sugarfish? I gotta look it up now. Only I had the internet.
That's what I always say.
Foxit is here. He said, well, poop sack. I've pretty much missed the entire live. Yay, garden work. Well, that's okay.
Hey, Cliff.
That's okay.
How you doing there, Cliff?
There's still 20 minutes, Cliff. Don't worry about it. You man, everyone's eating. I'm gonna go get some peanuts or something. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourself.
I'll be right back in a sec, dude. I just got to duck down for a sec.
Okay.
Put the video up.
Oh my gosh,
Put the video
Russell,
up.
it's just you and me.
Right back. After these messages.
I'll be
We'll be
right
right
back. Man, that was a commercial that was everywhere. So how you been,
So,
Russell?
how you doing? I tell you what I did recently. Do you want to know what I did recently? I'll tell you.
I do.
I bought like six wigs.
What? Why?
Yeah, I bought wigs. Well, why? Why not?
You gonna wig out with your disco ball?
I'm gonna.
Show me your wigs. You don't wanna know what I bought? Like $300 of lights for my wedding.
That's a lot. But you
Yeah.
only get married once or twice.
I got really cool like disco lights too that go with the light, and I got like lights that I can use for my live streamings and everything. So
Yeah.
I figured they would have dual purposes.
Oh, Mallow, I have a. Are you ever on Discord?
No.
You need to be. I'm gonna give you a thing to go to. I found a Discord for YouTubers in the partner program, and it's like
Okay.
the wealth of knowledge that's in this place will knock you out.
Really?
And these people are discussing, search engine optimization. They're spitballing thumbnails. It's just insane. And it's
Okay.
awesome at the same time.
Send me that.
I'll do that as soon as I can open this.
Mukbang.
My kingdom for a knife. Play the video.
Okay.
Oh, these never end well. I'm already cringing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the traffic ones are always kind of.
Oh.
No!
No!
What?
Holy crap.
This is a sign.
What happened?
This
Oh,
is a
the
sign.
sign's there. It looks good.
Yeah, everything looks fine, and then just
And like, screw this car in particular.
yeah, you know what? I don't like you.
This is a sign. That was good.
This is a sign. How does this?
I wanna see your wig.
work?
What in
You
the
gotta tuck all your
world
hair in crap?
are you gonna do with that?
Well, this is the skull cap portion of this. Hold on, there's a mosquito. Damn it.
Good thing you have a net on your head if there's a mosquito in the house.
He wearing City Girls lingerie again.
Yeah, Wood Pigeon, my wedding's probably gonna cost me like maximum $2,000. Oh my gosh.
What's going on here?
So he's got plenty of wigs. I think he's gonna try to cut off the ligament of his tongue and do like a kiss sort of thing.
Russell's doing a little role playing tonight.
I'm
He's
a
taking
rock star.
Dungeons and Dragons to the next level.
I'm a rock star. Come on.
That's what I thought.
You
He
sure
like
are.
kiss.
I gotta
Hey
figure
there,
out how
Wonders Rangers here. How's it going? Wonders just shows up as we're all munching into our mics. Fabulous.
Maybe a little like slash. I don't know.
What did I
Are you-
start here,
Is
huh?
that for a special feature or something?
Yeah, well, just for fun, special features or skits or a little role playing in the
There
bedroom.
you go. I'm gonna need a wigs pretty soon because I'm gonna chop off all my hair pretty soon
Really? Start with your
after
bangs.
my wedding.
Why are you going to do that now?
I always have short hair. I just
Because once
grew it
you're
out for my
married-
wedding.
Once you're married, it doesn't matter. You can let yourself go.
Ben prefers me with short hair. I actually shave it on one side, and I keep it long on the other side, and it looks pretty good.
Yep.
I can't stand long hair.
Russell will be the judge of that. Okay.
Yeah, what did he say?
No, don't trust Russell. He likes bangs.
Bangs
He
are the-
really does.
Use hair for bowl drill. That's a good idea. I was thinking of donating it.
I was literally about to tell you that Hawaii Volcano Squad said that.
Yeah, I probably
Nice
just
to have
donated
Wonders
it.
Ranger here. It's been a long time since you've been around, man. Zach says the skill rigs look.
Now I can go get my disco ball.
All right, go get it.
She's got a disco ball now? Where'd she get that idea from?
I don't know. It's weird, right?
If you got
No.
one too, Jess, I'm out of here.
I don't have one yet.
Well, technically it's not a disco ball, but it's got a remote.
Wait, your disco ball has a remote?
It does because it's sound activated and I can change the colors and the patterns and stuff.
What the? Why does one have to make a disco ball high tech? It's a disco ball
Well, because I needed something that could go
Oh.
outside.
for the wedding.
I've never tried it yet, actually. This is what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to try it.
I'm calling shenanigans. That's not a disco ball.
Yeah, that's not a disco ball. That's just a light.
It's not a disco ball, but it'll work for my wedding. I got
Party
two of
light.
them.
It's a party light.
Yeah, it's a party light. I got two of them in one box. Very long cord.
All right, here we go. OMG.
OMG, what?
Oh,
Whoa,
oh.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait,
And
wait,
there
wait.
the tire just keeps on going. Can
Hold
we
on.
see that again?
Yeah, we can see that again. Oh, so there's a loose tire on the road. And this guy hits
okay,
it.
that's
Oh,
why- This
shit.
guy hits the loose. Oh,
Wow. That's it replays. That's scary as shit. I mean, could you imagine? Hey, there's a tire on the road. I guess it's just gonna bounce off my bumper. Nope.
no, no. It's
Nope.
gonna do some
Nope.
damage.
We're gonna send you into the air. Holy crap.
Wow.
Wow.
I guess the tire's rolling, right? If you hit it, it's gonna lift your front end up.
Yeah, yeah, because it's sort of rolling like this, so it just sort of grabbed and oh my land. Okay.
That's scary. Okay.
Wow.
Jeez. That is very scary.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah. This
It's
looks like
green.
a 70s music video now.
It's green.
It's having a really strange effect with the green screen.
I know.
You should be like, I'm the operator with my pocket calculator.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm going to turn off my green screen.
Why? That was an awesome effect.
Yeah, it was like, that was all like 99 red balloons kind of, you know?
Isn't it? I'm really surprised. Oh, there's stars.
I do feel the need to point out what Wanders Ranger just said about the video we just showed, Russell. You picked a fine time to leave me, loose wheel.
Good one, Winder.
Yep. Good one.
Wow. A lot of settings on here. It's very bright.
Yeah.
I think 2 of these will be perfect, and they're sound activated too, so I have a band and everything for the wedding. You should come, Jesse.
I'll bear that in mind. Did you get them off Amazon?
I did.
Amazon,
did.
purveyor of all things.
This literally lights up my whole room of 12 by 27. Like the whole ceiling.
Very nice. And when you're done with the wedding, you can do 70s music videos with them. Or 80s music videos, I guess. Should be dancing. Yeah. Sorry.
The power of light.
The power. The power.
It's very bright.
Yep. I love how I had this idea of what to talk about tonight, and like forgot about it. At this point, we're just talking about disco balls and stuff, and food, munching into
Good
everyone's ears.
conversation.
That's because you lost your foremost authority on the show, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one.
This is the last one. Oh, I know which one this is, Russell. Oh, this one's all kinds of awkward. Steel yourselves, people. Ready?
Yeah, brace yourselves.
Oh, wow. What? What?
We need
What? What is this?
Press play.
What it is
let me
is a
make it bit
dumpster
bigger
fire.
here so we get the full breadth of this. So to
There
speak.
is a lot of full breadth.
Big old
to-
loaf.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Yeah.
Look at the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But seriously, how much are you getting out of that?
Him probably a lot. Her.
And we have liftoff.
Who, her or him?
She's like, okay, pound cake. Let's do it. Wow.
That's just weird.
I know. I know. Oh, yikes.
I don't know what either of them were getting
You
into
should
that.
use Russell as your entertainment director for your wedding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that would be non-awkward.
Here's some videos.
Russell's like a 9-hour drive.
Can you quiet down the speeches a little bit? I got these videos I'm about to play. Oh,
This is the last song. Okay, peace.
State of Honor. Come on. You need to just sit down. We're playing videos.
I mean, Russell, if you want to come, you can. But it's a long drive.
No thanks.
You said it's
Pass.
9 hours?
I'm pretty sure where he's at, it's 9 hours. Are you in Northern Ontario or Southern?
I'm about 2 hours away from Ottawa, like almost straight west of Ottawa.
Okay, so you're like 7.5 hours.
So you're about 5 from me, I guess?
No, I'm like 3 hours from you. 3.5
You're 3
from
hours
Matt.
from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from Ottawa, I'm like 5 hours.
But I'm saying if I was to just, go over to Russell's place and show up on his front stoop tomorrow, it would be like probably about a 5-hour drive for me.
Yeah.
I'll watch for you.
Yeah. I'll show up.
Stop at Subway for lunch.
Yeah.
Maybe
'Cause Russell
give
doesn't have
Russell another $25 chip card.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Russell sent me.
I talked to the manager there. I talked to the manager today, and I said you have to come up with a Raspberry Rock special, which is just going to be a BMT, but that's why people can go in and ask for a Raspberry Rock special.
What the hell's a BMT? Is that a bacon, mozzarella, and tomato?
No, it's like 3 different types of meat, and they're a little bit spicier than the cold cuts.
BMT.
I definitely didn't eat dinner tonight. I need to eat.
You've been eating.
I know, but I need to eat real food. Like I didn't have the kids today, so I tended to my bees, to my beehives, and then I came back in and I messed around with my new computer, and I lost track of time. And then I was like, oh, it's time to take the dog out and feed my animals, and I forgot to feed myself. I didn't even have the kids today, so I guess I'll eat a bowl of cereal.
Woo! Wow. Y'all
I
gotta
let
eat.
myself die when I don't have anybody to feed.
That was a real roller coaster of a story there.
Oh, Russell's such a brat sometimes.
I watered my garden and I fed all my plants, my animals, and I forgot about myself. When I don't have anybody to feed at home, I will eat a bowl of cereal and I'll be happy. It's like as long as I don't have food to cook or dishes to clean.
See, that's why I made my own granola last week. So that, when I do decide that I'm just going to eat a bowl of cereal, I know I'm not eating a bunch of chemical crap.
Yeah.
And bonus, my granola is really freaking good. Is he taking out another wig?
No, he's got like 5 wigs.
This one's complicated.
You're starting to scare me, Russell.
He's got a full
Starting.
band.
That one was complicated.
No, that one was too complex. Okay.
Hello.
But do you have a wig with bangs?
Yeah, if you have a wig with bangs, then that's a win. A winning wig.
I have a wig with bangs.
Anything
Actually
with
do.
bangs is winning. If it doesn't have bangs, then it's not winning.
I actually do have a wig with bangs, but it's in my room, and I don't want to bother Ben.
Fair. You're just like throwing that out in front of Russell and then taking it back away.
Does
I
that
actually
like
do
go
have a
with
wig
short
with
hair,
bangs.
Mel?
I've had it since I was like 11 years old.
Mallory is just so disappoints me in every possible way that I'm just getting like used to it. I'm hardened now. I'm hardened. That came out wrong, boy.
I was gonna say,
Bang,
I thought you were more
you
hardened when
shot
she
me
puts the
down,
bangs on.
bang, bang.
Are you singing?
Yeah, this Bang Bang song. I don't know what it is, but
Do it again.
wait, how does it go? Wait,
We're just singing it.
I know, but stop it. Bang bang, sheesh. Wait, man, I gotta freaking. I sang it like right off the bat, and then I don't remember it anymore.
You're not talking about the
You hit
Kanon song,
ground,
right?
Bang bang,
Right.
na 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 na, bang bang.
The Kill Bill
You guys
song.
know that song?
Yeah,
I don't.
from Kill Bill.
No. Okay, I need to find it.
My baby shut me down. Yeah, it's from Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were.
Bang bang, I hit the ground. Bang bang. Yeah, another one. I can't sing it either.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down. Right? That's it.
Is that like a country song?
No, I don't think so.
I can see why you'd say that. And then bang bang, he shot the dog. Bang
Yeah.
bang, my
Stole
truck
my
broke
Chevy.
down. Bang bang, my mother died. Bang bang, they lost her corpse. Bang bang.
They made moonshine. Bang, bang.
I lost my StreamYard window. Oh, there it is. Okay. I can't believe there are still 17 people hanging and watching us do this.
It's because one of us is really interesting.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Pie Martin left. Damn it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Jess,
Mark, I will sing at my wedding.
And we were watching Russell's live stream, and we were talking about your bass playing ability and how we would love to hear it sometime.
Yeah, because I am the world's okayest bass player. Yeah, I don't know when the hell we're gonna play live next. We've actually, you can hear my bass playing because we got our stuff up on the Tube of Views.
No, live.
Yeah, we need some live slapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when that blah, blah. I'm gonna start that whole sentence again. Okay, I don't know when that's gonna happen. We've started sort of pinging the pubs and stuff to say, hey, post COVID, is there gonna be music? And we're just waiting to hear back. It takes forever to hear back.
Yeah, but what about right here on the live stream?
Yeah.
Right now.
What do you think? People in the chat, should we be pulling out the bass and
First of all,
play some funky music, white boy?
one day maybe, but my amp is in the other room. There.
You don't have to plug it in.
Maybe I don't have to plug it in. You can't hear anything.
Just play
He'd need a contrebasse, like the big,
Oh, I
big
know it.
basses.
Oh, I know those.
Just play it
Yeah.
really loud.
What a good idea.
I
Just
mean,
really
put
reef
the
on
bass
it, right?
right up to the mic and just start slapping it. We'll hear it.
Yeah.
You have it right next to you. It's always next to you in every live stream.
And they're both over there.
Yeah, this is getting shy on us.
I don't think you're going to hear anything. Hold on. I'll get one of them.
Liquid courage.
Yeah, how's that? I need to see the mark on the bottle now, Jess. How are we working on there? Like, is there
No, I only poured myself one dram this time because it's expensive to go drinking a third of a bottle every time I'm on screen with you, Russell.
I don't care.
I know, but I do have to care.
See, Zach wants it. Slapping the bass.
Yeah, I don't slap a lot.
Slap.
Sir, slap a lot, but I don't think you're going to hear anything. Let's see if I...
Yeah.
Yep. I can hear it.
You can hardly hear anything.
I can hear it.
It's because you got your headphones on.
Oh, it's out of tune. Yeah, it's totally out of tune. Yeah. It's totally out of tune. I'd have to tune it up.
Next week.
Oh.
Next week.
God, excuses. We can't hear it. It's out of tune. I'm drunk.
That means, Jesse, that means that you haven't played in too long.
Yeah, I haven't played in like 15 months. Just too much happening. It's funny, like all these people I know is like, yeah, man, this plague is going to be so great. I'm going to be so productive on this, that, and the other. And here's me. It's like, how is this happening for you people? I'm keeping 2 kids alive. But, aside from that, I've been running support for my wife the whole time. Because, when things get kind of crazy out there, certain jobs get really, really busy, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Understood.
Yeah. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Okay. To all those of you in the side chat, thanks for hanging out with us for this whole straight to the bitter end. Between now and next week, I would love it if you all stayed healthy, stayed safe, stay sane, and be kind to one another. To those of you who are on screen, thanks for coming on screen and chit-chatting and munching and eating and drinking.
Did you say shit chatting?
No. Yeah. No, I would not say that because I don't want to get demonetized. Chit-chatting. Chit. Sorry, I shall now overpronounce all of the consonants. Thank you for chit-chatting. Chit-chatting.
Brother, you got to do this because
Yeah, what do you... Is that something green?
Yes.
go back and forth. Like
Very green.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, everyone. See you later.
Bye-bye.
this. Me too.
Peace out.